camera right there.
Yeah. I need to get a new camera. So
yeah, someone should take a picture of that setup. That's better than the one at the at Studio A that you have jerry rigged.
That one actually had a tripod though.
Brian, hit the record button on that machine over there, please.
Which color?
The
red,
yeah.
And then
yeah, there you go. Yeah, press it.
And then hit.
And then hold on the top red one.
Hit the top red button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite amateur hacks are back for another season of the Sneaky Par Show. They're still shitty at golf and clueless in life, but having fun along the way. Over to you guys for...
I just noticed Manziel sticking his tongue out in our picture.
Right over your shoulder. He's looking your shoulder.
Yeah, so welcome. We got season that we're doing 11 episodes in season 2. Feels like just yesterday we were over at X Golf doing season 1, but we got Dally in the studio today. Welcome, Dally, and we got Chi-Town in the studio today.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. We're missing someone. Daddy D has annual tax day, which I'm going to put on him a little bit. He knows we do podcasts on Thursday, so I don't know why he scheduled it for Thursday, but
you got to do out of 1099s.
I don't think his heart was into it this week. I think he had a lot going on. He felt it was easier just to go and get his taxes done. But he does go to Aurelio's Pizza. That's kind of his tradition, which is a delicious pie. If you've never had it, it's all in the sauce, is what they say. So we got a good show tonight. Little different crew here, but Lance is here. He's listening over there. What's up, Lance?
How you doing, guys?
You got a voice. You got that deep voice that's perfect for these microphones. So Lance is here. We're gonna recap the first tournament. What's coming up? He's got a big season ahead. He's got some new merch that's exclusive to just himself.
That's right.
So we're excited to talk about that. But one of the things that's interesting this week, kind of news that came out, and Shalair, you've read this book years ago, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And I think we had some, I don't know if we were arguing, or I think we kind of agreed the same points, but we've talked about it for many years about, so the thing is, Johnny Manziel came out and said that he's going to try to go on the PGA Tour in 12 years.
Yep.
And they were talking about it. And I guess there's a guy out there named Dan McLaughlin who actually did this and said, I'm going to quit my job. He was 30 years old and said, in 6 years, I'm going to try to get to 10,000 hours and make my way to the tour.
Yeah, but was that guy at any athletic talent whatsoever?
Well, I mean, no. So he was a double-digit handicap index. Yeah. His lowest he got down to, I think, was, they said, like a 5. But at 6,000 hours, he hurt his back. That was the end of Dan. They call it Dan's plan. So, but I mean, he got a lot of press for it. He kind of was, doing daily blogs and stuff like that. And I feel like we were ahead of our time, and we talked about this a long time ago when the book came out, and you were, because it's obviously based a lot on hockey and when you were born and stuff like that.
David and Goliath, also a good book, which kind of gets into the next chapter of that. But absolutely, I wouldn't say he was crushing it with sponsorships. He was bringing in $250 a month in his sponsorships. But part of that is it's tough to prove because 10,000 hours is a long time.
Yeah, right? It is a long time.
And he did 6,000 hours in 5 years, before he hurt his back and ended. So he started at 30. I'd say he would have got 10,000 in 10 years. He would have been trying out for the PGA Tour at 40 years old. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Like you got to, if you want to do this the right way, you got to start at 20. So how old is Manziel?
28,
late 20s.
Yeah. So,
he's an athlete.
He has athletic talent.
Yeah. I mean,
he won a Heisman.
He beat Alabama in Alabama.
Yeah.
Was SEC quarterback. So I'm rooting for him. I definitely love to see it. I just don't know if mentally he can stay with it for 12 years.
No.
I mean, we've seen, thing. I think it's an admirable challenge, but the one thing that I read is like Tiger Woods had to do certain things and then they'd let him go practice. Like, hey, clean your room and then you can go hit golf balls. Like Gretzky, they had to go grab him off the ice to eat dinner. Yeah. So you have to want to practice versus just like, oh, wake up, like, oh shit, now I got to go hit the golf. Like it becomes a chore.
Yeah.
Versus
you could tell like that was his exact problem with football, is that he just didn't seem like he wanted to put the time and effort into being a good football player. And that really torpedoed his entire career.
And part of training is diet, exercise, coming back from injury, right? That's all part of training, which Dan didn't have any part of.
But they never talked about that in the article that I read and sent to you. But you would think you got to have a nutritionist, you got to be now exercising.
Manziel does have more resources available to him.
He does.
Right?
He's got a millionaire.
And what Dan also didn't have was a golf coach, which Manziel can also hire. So even with all that, I think he's gonna run out of time.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, so if you do the math, so 12 years. I think I
No, I
it
thought
came
you
out
said
to-
10 years.
It was 12.
Oh, okay, that'll get him to 40 then.
And I thought I was doing the math. So if you do 10,000 hours divided by 12, it's 833. per
Divide that
year.
by 7.
No, divided by 12, 69 hours a month divided by, it didn't, I was doing the math. It was like 30 or 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
you're
it's
just doing
40 hours.
it's just doing a regular job basically.
Yeah,
right?
but
you do 9 to 5 job, 8 hours a day.
Right, but do you in your 9? I mean, my 9 to 5 job. I work 8 hours a day. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, so in other words, is he actually
Wink,
just on the
wink,
range
like,
8 hours a day, or is he playing golf 8 hours a day?
Right, and that's the thing. Like, you actually have to be doing something for those 8 hours.
Yeah.
It has to do with golf.
So in other words, for his regimen would be like, just for example, he'd be driving all day Monday, then hit the course, play around. Next day, could do irons, and hit the course.
I don't mean, Eric's here. Like,
I don't know,
sorry, Lance is here.
Maybe
Like,
we should ask the
Well, you can
caddy
ask
on
him
the
when he
corn-
gets on. Yeah, you
the
can ask him
corn
when he
ferry
gets on,
tour.
but
Yeah.
No shot. No shot.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, he can't even keep it together for 5 days, much let alone 12 years.
yeah, like that was Joe Thomas did an interview, the left tackle, the all-pro left tackle for Cleveland. He was there when he was like in the prime of his career, and Manziel actually said that he apologized to Joe for wasting Joe's time and his years there because they wasted a draft pick on him, and Joe was like, I want to make the playoffs and all this stuff, and he said, yeah, he didn't really care in meetings, he didn't care in offensive meetings.
Well, that's what the Patriots scouted. They said they're like, no way, he's got so many other things going on that we're not even going to touch him, and they were right. But
I mean, the kids are too good at 15 and 16 years old. I mean, he's so far behind the scale, and I mean. He swings very max effort from what I've seen online, and he'll either get hurt. And honestly, I don't know any other PGA Tour that has tattoos on their fingers, so I don't know if they'll even let that happen. I have no idea.
Somewhere in the rule book, buried.
Yeah.
You can't have tattoos.
Here's the thing.
well, it's time tour to accept everybody for who they are.
Do you
I
think
mean,
he could even get to the mini tour level?
No.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Like
They're too good. I mean, these guys are.
I know.
They're just too good. I mean, you're telling me that guy doesn't shank a ball in a round. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen Eric shank a ball. Even on the range, maybe just here and not warming up or whatever. But no, there's no chance. He mentally doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah.
I mean, if he does, God bless him. But I would put my house on it. He ain't doing it.
Well,
Didn't Romo try it? Like,
Yeah.
kind of try it, right?
Romo's all right. He's a pretty good player,
Yeah.
And I've seen Smoltz. I've been in the group with him before. He's pretty good. But still, I mean, those guys were, Smoltz, a top athlete. I mean, he can't even last on the senior tour.
Right.
And he played every day, even in the minor league or pro ball.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pitcher. Like, so he can go out there the 4 days to play golf.
He's out there by noon every
I know.
day. Him and Maddox and Glavin every day.
Yeah, but Romo actually, I think he took like a couple months off. That was about it to try and qualify for the U.S. Open, but he never even got through the first.
Yeah, I mean, he
qualifier.
played in a PGA Tour event.
Yeah,
right? He's
but that
actually
was
played in
a
couple.
sponsor exemption though.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and what happened?
Yeah.
So which professional athlete sport do you think has the lowest handicaps?
In terms
Baseball
of
players.
I think
Baseball.
hockey players had pretty low.
I mean,
I would say baseball.
Well, yeah, who would like Mulder always wins
But-
those tournaments?
baseball players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably.
so-
a good
Would
point.
you go with pitchers?
Yes.
Or-
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have so much downtime.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He said
Sure.
that they used to play all the time. Maddox, Glavin, and Smoltz. used
I
to
mean,
play
sometimes they'd
all
be
the
out there
time.
by 9:30 in the morning and teeing off at 10.
Yeah.
'Cause
I was going to throw a curveball and ask about punters and kickers.
maybe so. Robbie
Maybe.
Gold's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like they have a lot of
Yeah.
free time also.
A lot
Yeah,
of
they could be.
quarterbacks. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we bring Lance on? We got a lot of things to talk about. So,
Yeah.
Dale, why don't you and Lance just switch up real quick?
Okay. All right. You want to stop?
No,
No,
we're good.
okay.
I mean, I can edit it, or we can let our fans listen to the transition.
Ooh, the walkover.
The walk over the 3 feet walk over.
We'll put the
there.
transition on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for that.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So we got a new camera we're using today and this green screen, and I don't know why your side of your head's not showing up there, Lance. Let me scoot over.
Is it because of his green screen hat?
No, I don't think there's a green screen on that hat, but whatever. But hey, welcome, buddy. Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me here.
As Dallas mentioned, our second time guest on the show.
Yeah, just
So,
guess.
it's
He's
a-
almost Don Rickles now.
We're gonna get you like a chair in the corner,
Appreciate
just to smoke cigars and watch us every
That's
week.
right.
But thanks for coming down. Appreciate having you. You're
Thanks, man.
sporting the new Sneaky Par exclusive caddy collection. We got 5 different of those hats for Lance.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, Shalair, but you showing the back of it. We got our boy
Oh,
Sly on the back of the hat
nice.
too. So a little more branding in
We're looking good.
version 2.
I thought you were gonna go just with the Sly head, just the face.
No,
Make
the
it
whole
look
body
bigger.
gives it
Yeah,
the whole
body.
I
Okay.
mean, it shows he's got a golf club in there. People are like, why do you have a
And
guy?
the way he's walking, he's sneaking.
He's sneaking.
around.
He's sneaking. He got his part. He's sneaking off the green.
That's
It's-
right.
it's all-
Is Sly trademarked?
No. Shalair came up with that name.
Yeah.
He's like, we need it.
No, the actual little guy though.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Of course,
It's all trademark. Everything.
Yeah,
is-
registered.
Everything's trademark, even in China.
Yeah.
But Lance, we want to get you on and we want to talk. You had your first tournament about a week and a half ago.
We did.
Solid finish.
Yep. 23rd.
At the tour, but give us a little heads up. Like, how were you feeling going through? How was Eric feeling? How was the vibe? Was it good to be back out there again?
You know, it was really good to see everybody and be back on the road a little bit and kind of get back into that work mode. And good to see Eric. I stayed with him and his family actually. And it was a good week. You know, it was really super windy, 15 to 20 mile per hour winds dead into your face on all the par 5s. You know, and we just, some putts didn't go in the hole, but they can't run forever. And we'll get it in there next time.
Okay. One of the things I always like to ask is, you know, it's the first one of the season, so a little nervous. Obviously, you get a little butterflies.
Yeah.
It's okay to admit it.
Yeah, I mean,
you get a little
more
bit
anxious.
Yeah.
Anxious. You know, I was prepared, and I knew he was prepared, and you know, it's just going out and executing, and you know, I mean, from tee to green, we were great. We just, you know,
I think it was number now. I think it was 57 greens in regulation on the 72.
There's a lot of pressure now. There's at least 15 people that are, you know, getting Eric updates and Lance updates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a vested interest now.
You fucking idiots wouldn't know this, but we're approaching 3,000
Yeah.
on Instagram. So just, you know, for the numbers' sake.
They had crowds out there?
Oh yeah, there was. I think there was
Do you want to
probably
use the
a couple thousand people.
So what's the so I've been to PGA Tour events before, right? There's tents and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So what's the snack beverage situation like on the Corn Ferry Tour?
There was a lot of alcohol out there, actually. They had a ton of tents, ton of food, barbecue. I mean, there was a lot of stuff, just not as much as a PGA Tour event, but a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
there was a lot of drinking going on. That's
Nice.
for sure.
Sounds like a fun little party scene. Like, it's still serious, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But what was your biggest takeaway going from week 1 now coming into week 2? That's out there. Like, what's your takeaway, and I guess what's Eric's takeaway?
You know, I think we just needed to really, you know, concentrate on finishing. You know, he was hitting the ball so good. I mean, everything. I mean, he, like I told you earlier, he hit the best shot I'd ever seen with a 4-iron on one of the par 3s. But I think it was just, we need to work on finishing the last 3 holes. And, you know, whether that's him having a peanut butter sandwich halfway through it or changing his glove or whatever, we're working on it now. He's got a new putting coach that he really likes, and he's been with James O doing his chipping, which is, you know, everybody on the PGA Tour has been working with him, and you know, we're ready to go this next event.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He finished 6th there before.
Is his putting coach teaching him the claw putting technique?
No claw.
No?
His actually, everything about his putting strokes just been good. I think it's really been more about confidence, and you know, maybe just going to see a guy just to get him lined up right, you know, and I can't stand behind him on the green, you know, but knowing I'm going to go down there next week and go with him to one of his lessons so I can see on the road when we're on the practice green and get behind him. And that way I can be his eyes for his coach, you know, when he's.
So if he's reading a putt, you can't stand behind him and look at
Oh, no, I can do that. But like when he's addressing the ball.
Oh, you can't stand behind him. Yeah.
No.
Be like, oh, no, adjust a little this way.
No. But I mean, he's a great putter. It'll come back and and the hole can't run forever.
Yeah. What about you? How did you out there? I mean, do you feel like your game was dialed in as a caddy? And
there's things I definitely could have improved on. But I felt great. I was excited to be out there. I was off the tee every day first. You know, I mean, you'd have thought I was getting an award. to get the ball.
Well, you were
first.
definitely best dressed out there for,
For
sure.
sure.
There's no question about that.
For sure. Yeah. And I got a lot of compliments
You
about
had
that.
all the ladies and the males out there.
That's
looking
right.
at
Yeah,
you.
that's right. I had a bunch of hooting and hollering going on, but not sure.
You showing those calves out
that's
there.
Right.
While,
Oh yeah, yeah. They do talk about that.
a couple of squats before the
I'm gonna get the
route set.
tattoo, the sneaky
There
part
you go.
logo
Hey,
on there.
we got you, Dally over there. He's got a tattoo machine. He can do it for you.
Yeah.
But being a Mo Norman fan and the single plane swing,
Sure.
the claw putting technique, that's basically what
I use the claw.
The single plane guys kind of use.
Yeah.
Because it's same, you're hitting it straight, like the putter's not kind of like tilted.
Yeah, some guys like it. I think Eric actually did putt like that for a year.
Yep.
But he went back to his regular stroke. And
the putts that were like that weren't falling, how far were they? Were they outside 10 feet? Were they inside 10 feet?
a lot of the ones we were missing actually were inside, 8 feet, I'd say.
Okay.
They just were, a lot of them would just lip out, and the wind had some effect on some of them, but I think we made a 52 footer out there. He did.
Wow.
Yeah. And I gave it the old fist pump, and which was a little out of character, but it, I was pumped for him, and it was.
Well, you can't really tell by looking at the stats. You can see 57 greens in regulation was great,
Right.
but
Scrambling wasn't that good.
But you mentioned scrambling wasn't that good. Got to get those sneaky pars. But then you mentioned the putting, so I was trying to figure out if it was because the putting was down because he was too far away on the green regulation. But it sounds like he was right there. Just
and
some putts didn't fall.
You said he missed a couple 3-footers.
And that could have been on me too, like telling him where to land the ball and stuff. But like I said, it was so tough with the wind. You could tell, we were having to line the ball 15 yards out to get it to where our landing spot. And Eric doesn't do start points; he does finishing. So, and I'm a start guy, so we're trying to do all that out there and get the wind right. And he hits it so far that if he gets it under there, it could go an extra 15 yards.
Yeah,
and then that puts us in the back of the green. We're 100 feet putt,
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's we were, like I said, Brian and I were looking at all the stats, trying to figure it out, and it's just there's a lot of stuff, but I think there's a lot of things we'd love to see better on there. That you look at, like, it's just crazy how many different stats there are in the golf game. I mean, it's just become, it seems like just such an analytical game in terms of like, and then like, I think people like look at the numbers, like you need to do this, and he's like, fuck it, just go out there and hit the ball and
I mean,
play your game.
And they're not in the moment. They're not out there. They're not in the condition. The wind could change it any second. He could be addressing the ball, taking his club back, and it switches, which it did. And guys just get, it just gets frustrating, and and then the putts weren't falling, so then it just kind of snowballed. But then we made a little run there in the last day, and we want to, our goal now that we talked about the other night, we had a team meeting, is that we want to have the tournament in hand by Saturday, and then have all them chasing us. So that's just our goal, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, top 25 first event of the year. I mean, I know it's nobody's happy with not finishing first and that, but I mean, big picture, it was a quality start.
We make no bogeys on any of those last 3 holes and we win it, or go to the playoff.
Was that close?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like, so he said Eric missed a putt on 18, a 3-footer, because some guy collapsed. I don't mean to laugh at that, but
in the
crowd, like he said, like he was putting here and you were the guy that
he
collapsed.
was like addressing the ball, and the guy was like right in front of us, and he just collapsed, and Eric started pointing at him and said, "Is he okay? What happened?" I said, "Don't worry about it. He tripped." Because I knew we need to make this putt. We could go over there in 15 seconds and see the guy. I mean, he had plenty of help. And it sounds like a very selfish thing to do, but
we won a tournament. The guy was okay.
We're here for one reason.
Was okay.
Golf.
Well,
that's right.
The interesting thing is, I asked Lance earlier. I go, he finished 23rd. I go, if he made that putt, where had he finished? And
14.
14.
So
big difference.
Yeah, significant.
It's
there.
10 spots.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, every putt matters. You got to line it up. You got to be focused, and I think that's the Manziel thing. Is
he's not going to be able to do that.
No shot.
You got a little hussy in the crowd over there screaming his name. It's over.
He's like, Johnny!
Like that girl that ran up to Mickelson in England. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I love it. Like, you know what? I love the fact that he tried football in the pros. It didn't work. And he's like, you know what? I just want to party. And he owned it and admitted it. But now he's kind of come back a little bit saying, I want to be a pro. Now, who knows? Maybe he's just looking for some press and being relevant again, which if he is, great. But he's living a good life that I think all of us.
Yeah. I mean,
if I had his money, I'd come out and try to be.
His parents were already loaded, though.
Sure, but he's got money too from his signing bonuses and enough of that. I'm just saying, I don't I think it's
Hey,
great.
to each his own.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen, but
I'm pretty
to each
sure
his
that
own.
signing bonus is spread across 5 casinos in Vegas.
Yeah, I'd probably say you're right about that.
Yeah. So next tournament is when now?
We go to Louisiana in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Or Lake Charles?
Lake Charles.
Yeah, I played. Is that the one by the casino?
It is.
Yeah, I played that course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Did you get your caddy book for me?
No, yeah. Yeah, you want my
So do the
yardage?
opposite.
You want my yardages? This
Yeah.
was right after when the hurricanes, not the Katrina hurricane, the second one it hit Lake Charles pretty hard. It almost wiped out that town.
Yeah. No, I remember them talking
So
about
yeah, it was
that.
like maybe at least 10 years ago, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But there's a casino right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, real nice.
That's
yeah.
one of the requirements for strong Chi-Town approval is having a casino nearby.
Yeah.
That's
It's all-
right.
I think
might
the
have
course is part of the casino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
It's
might
a
have to
Harris.
dig into this a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually
They
a
got
great
shishito
spot.
peppers on the
Hey,
menu.
well, Brian, we can always go down there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's nice. Well, it's Lake Charles is I think 3 hours west of New Orleans and 3 hours east of Houston. It's like right in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
so you're gonna drive there? So you're going to drive to Florida?
I am. I'm going
next
to go
year?
down to Florida and work a member tournament down at the Pelican and Bel Air, Florida, right in Clearwater, and then go to Louisiana, and then we go to Savannah,
Okay.
and Destin, and then Vegas.
Nice.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
You're gonna
sounds
be-
like a fun little.
yeah. I'm looking.
Well,
forward
when's
to
your kid due again? By the way.
The end of May.
Okay, and
So
the
then our
virtual.
tournament's here.
Oh, the Glen Club. Let's
Yeah,
say. Hope
yeah.
that works out. And your
Yeah.
virtual baby shower. You love that, didn't you?
Yeah,
all of it.
I just can't tell you.
I was gonna join and just see that chipper smile of
Oh,
yours, just
yeah, it
being the
was-
greatest host, future husband or future father. I love this.
Yeah, we're
Daddy's
so
number one
thankful.
son.
Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
a guy or girl?
Girl.
It's a girl. Okay. Well, daddy's
Guy,
number
girl.
one.
Yeah, I hope. But no, it's a little girl. Her name's Charlie. We're gonna
Oh,
name
yeah,
her Charlie.
That's a great name. Yeah, okay.
We can't wait.
We'll be there over at the Glen Club just in
Oh,
case
yeah.
you have to take off, and Marty can pick up the bag for
We
you.
got you.
Just go.
Yeah,
we got it.
do it.
Yeah, we got your back.
Jeff Reimer's filled in for me before, and
Nice.
That's awesome.
yeah, he was so nervous. He told me, but he did a great job. Eric said, he didn't really have to do much. And
Well, as
Carry the
long as he
bag.
tells you not
Just
to
carry the bag.
No, but just like not to cost anybody a penalty.
nah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
That's
but
the only thing.
he did. I think Eric asked him a club, and he was kind of like, you should hit this or whatever. And Eric's like, no, I'm not. I can't hit that.
Yeah.
but,
Jeff, thanks for trading. Just
Yeah.
pipe down.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, give me that peanut butter sandwich,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I got a banana. in the bag.
Jeff is such a huge part of our team.
Yeah,
We
that's
love
awesome.
Jeff.
Yeah.
We got to have him on here. Jeff is
Oh,
just
we
great.
love
Yeah.
that Ram around. It's been years since I've
For a long
seen him
time.
in person, but
yeah, he's out there at Kemper Lakes.
You know, we'll maybe do a show. So we're actually probably doing it at that Big Cedar Lodge.
Mm.
Our friend knows somebody there, so we're gonna do one down there.
Nice.
We probably might bring this up down to Destin with us as
That
well,
would be
but
awesome.
we should do
have
one.
a house in Destin. We're all staying at.
You do,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Well, we should do one at like I don't know, it's like Smoked Out. Our buddies own a bunch of restaurants. We're getting them on too, but
Yeah.
like just get like the whole like local team that's here. Like if Reimer wants to come down, whoever else, and we just all just
You just tell
eat
Roger
and
he'll
drink
be
and
there.
yeah. I'm sure
You
he'd
know.
love that. I think it'd be a great time to.
I love having him there too because I can kind of look over to him and he'll tell me where we are on the leaderboard. He's like doing the.
He's all
fingers.
into it, huh?
Oh man, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. He's such a good guy. So what next tournament's coming up? Have you scouted the course yet? Have you looked at it? Like
No.
what's your pre I guess tournament routine that you do when it's
You
a
know,
course like this?
I'll get out there on Monday and I'll spend 4 to 5 hours just going over everything, and I'll walk the holes backwards, just to kind of get a visual of everything. I'll write tons of notes down where we can be, the run outs. So pretty much when Eric gets there, I can tell him, hey man, you just hit it there.
Yeah.
But he knows these courses. He's played them for
Mhm.
6 years,
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, we just help each other out a lot. So I don't have to be that guy that takes a million notes,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a ton of, if he asks me a question, I know it,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm prepared for. And that's what I spend on Monday doing. And Tuesday we'll have a practice round, Wednesday pro-am, and then Thursday we go.
How often does in the minor leagues? How often do they change venues per year? Because I feel like with money,
I mean, often. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
like-
didn't play in Vegas last year.
Oh, you
We're
didn't?
going there
Yeah.
this year.
Okay. Yeah. Because like in the in the PGA Tour, it's like the same.
Yeah.
Same Torrey Pines. It's
And they get the
Pebble
same
Beach.
nice weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Every week we get
The
terrible
same
weather,
whatever. What's the one that they do the Genesis Open at?
Yeah.
Riviera.
Riviera. The same every year. And only one in 2 years, you get a random place like the one he did. What was that? Concession?
Yeah.
That was a new one.
That looked
Mexico,
awesome.
Yeah.
because of all the COVID. And that was what a great track to have.
Yeah, that was great.
The tournament we were just at was a mile away from.
Oh, from Concession? Yeah.
What they had the nickname for it?
Concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
But
fact: Tiger Woods was driving a Genesis in his
Yeah, it was.
accident. Yeah,
No,
very.
He had to.
Apparently,
That's his turning.
it's like the safest car out
Yeah,
there.
apparently
they say.
there's-
Well, that's what the
extremely,
sheriff said, that
extremely
if it wasn't,
safe.
it was his car saved his life or something like that. That's what he said.
Wasn't Tiger a Buick guy back when he
A long
was?
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a Buick guy.
Yeah.
He had a Tiger Woods Buick Regal edition.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Like TW in the seats. and
Yeah, I
everything
don't know
like
what it was. Yeah, okay.
that? We're gonna get like the Toyota Prius Sneaky Power with the Lance
Yeah.
edition out there as
I
well.
like
It's gonna
that
look pretty
idea.
good.
I like that idea.
Yeah, we're gonna look good out there.
I need a little Sneaky Par newborn outfit.
Oh, well,
There you go.
so
We do have that.
They're already on the website. They're not available. But have you seen what we did with them?
No,
Oh my god, it's
I'll look at it.
we came up with the dumbest, kind of cheesiest slogans and sayings with them. But actually, a couple of them are kind of funny. I'm not sure if your wife is gonna like them.
Oh, she trust
I
me.
mean, as long as she's like got a sense
Yeah.
of humor.
Oh, she'll be
We,
great.
we
Like-
spent almost an entire night coming up with
That's
these.
true. We did.
And there
There's
was
a lot
like
back and
100
forth.
of them. Like we were like, oh, we can keep going and going.
I love the logo.
Yeah. So we just kind of put Sneaky Park Kids.
Oh, nice.
But
So
it's
this
mostly
is
geared
my
toward-
favorite one.
It's mostly geared toward boys. I think.
It says always pull out, but then underneath it says, oh, the pin. So I mean, cheesy. And then this other one, this is my buddy came up with, but first P jitters.
Oh, I like that.
So
Those are
you
cool.
know, yeah. So we were just kind of fucking around. We had a whole bunch of other ones,
Yeah.
but we just threw them out there, and
Oh, that's cool.
we're about the everything here, the older guys,
That's
the
right.
young kids, and everything like that. So we'll have to get Charlie
Yeah, for
some
sure.
exclusive.
That'd be great.
Well,
Sneaky
as
Park
as
here.
Dan's plan found out that life gets in the way with golf. Did you read that whole article? He's like, you found a girl.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of things that led like when you get to that point where you get injured, like you have to have a special motivation to come back, right? Like
Did I see this show on Netflix about this guy? Is it a movie?
I just was reading an article, and it was called
watched
Dan.
some
There might have
movie.
been a movie about it too, because
If it's the guy I'm thinking of, and I watched it like a couple days ago. I stopped watching it, but he said he was going to try to be a professional golfer, and he was terrible.
yeah. And then
This
kinda,
guy.
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah,
got
that's him.
That's
he
it.
got hurt and found love at the same time. He's just like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a killer.
yeah.
Well, I think it was kind of. I mean, listen, if
What
we
a
had-
good story, but yeah, listen, it's just too hard. These guys are too good, and they've all been hitting balls at the country club
Yeah.
since they
Plus-
were little.
Go back
Yeah.
to his Wikipedia kind of indicates that he might be a quitter. Like his brother McLaughlin went to Boston University to study physics and math, but he quit.
He
after
quit
a
that
year.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, too hard. 10,000 hours of physics and
Yeah,
math. Too
yeah.
hard.
Well, I mean, that's the thing we always talked about is, we got lucky and we got into the IT tech industry in like 99, right when it was
Mhm.
booming, and we made some good money when we were younger. And I was always thinking, like, who's the next phenom in Florida that's like 10? Like, hey, we'll pay for his lessons, we'll pay for his room and board, we'll send him there, like just in the hopes that when he makes it, that. And there was an article, it
Yeah.
was called the Golf Sugar Daddies or something. That
What?
is something
Really?
I
Yeah.
thought about 18 years ago to go pay this kid
Just
who's got
back
all the
kids.
potential in the world, but just doesn't have the funds to
Yeah,
do it. And I
I'm
was
sure
like,
there's a million of them.
There's like
Yeah.
they're like venture capitalists for golfers.
Well, isn't that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened with Fernando Tatis? Remember?
oh
He
yeah,
signed that deal, that
yeah.
junior. He signed that deal with this company that gave him
It's a
cash.
private equity firm.
Yeah,
that gave him
exactly.
cash.
They really they think that they treat the pro athletes as if they were stocks. So they invested them low, and then when he signed that $340 million, he owned like 10%. They
Yeah.
owe him like 30. He owns them like $34 million or something like that.
Yeah, and they have like a whole bunch, they have like 150 people
Yeah,
they invest
it's crazy.
in.
It's
and
like their
they're just
mutual fund of
Yeah.
athletes.
I get it. I totally get
Yeah.
it. I think it's smart, but I mean, the one thing you can't figure out though is the mental aspect of the thing, right? You
Yeah.
can have all the talent in the world,
That's right.
but like if you're not mentally strong, and I don't know, you can take all the tests in the
No.
world.
Yeah, where you get drafted, who a team you
I'm
go
sure
to,
Vince
there's
Young
some-
had a stellar mental capacity when he was
absolutely
dra-
not.
No?
Failed the NFL test miserably.
Oh, okay.
Or the
Like,
Wonderlic.
yeah, like the lowest score in NFL history. Like it
Oh,
wasn't
my-
even
my
close.
bad.
I don't know if it was the
So that's a bad
lowest
call.
Yeah,
score,
like
was it?
it was the lowest score like in NFL
Yeah.
history. Yeah, like the worst of the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Look at the stats guy Brian over here. That's what
I knew it was low. I didn't know it was the
Yeah.
worst.
But I
ever.
was I was also because I was a liner guy, whatever. So, but I was also wrong about liner. So I think whatever way you went there, Vince Young or liner in that draft, you picked the wrong horse.
Yeah, there's a lot of misses in that draft.
Yep.
Reggie Bush was also missed on that draft too.
Yeah, I think Reggie Bush had a decent career.
Yeah, but not for a number 2 overall
Yeah.
pick though.
So how'd you feel? 4 rounds, walking 4 days. I mean,
Great.
the
I feel
body
great.
kept up. Nothing.
And then I went home and played with Eric's kids every day,
Yeah.
T-ball outside and ran around. And then we went and putted at night, played at night. I mean, I felt great.
Yeah.
It
Are
was-
you adjusting? So after round 1, you're at night, you're hanging out with Erica's kids. You're like, hey man, I think we should do this, and this differently for day 2, or do what? You kind of have the same game plan for all 4 days.
We go over our book at night and we do our pin placements and everything, and we'll talk about the wind and where it'll be and what we would have to do on the possibly on those shots, and just kind of like that. I would never say like, dude, you did this wrong, we got to do. I would never say that. Now he might say it to me, it just out of being upset or whatever. But
well, you don't seem like you're overthinking it a lot, which I think is if you
not
find
at all.
somebody maybe Eric's like that, he appreciates that versus I could see a Chi-Town out there overdoing the numbers and the
Well,
stats and
he likes a lot
playing
of
the odds.
knowledge, which I think a lot of the guys do, but I only give it to him if he asks. I've never told Eric when he's come up, all right, dude, you're hitting an 8-iron here.
Mhm.
Like I don't think I've ever said anything like that.
So you just give him yardage, let's say the pin, front of the green, back of the green, here's the wind.
Yeah, I would
He
just
picks
say,
a
hey,
7.
man, we
He's
got
like, what do you think of this?
176 to the pin, 159 to the front. The wind's in off the right. We need to land this ball, so and so. We'll do our decade numbers and having 8 to 10 away from the pin, whatever. On the
But he doesn't want to know where you want to land it. You want to know where it's going to end up.
What do you
right.
mean the decade numbers? What is that?
Well, the decade numbers is like, so around the greens, we number them to say like, okay, a 3 would be, we do not want to land anywhere near there because it's hazard out of bounds. A 1 landing, we can land there. We can miss there. No problem. A 2, maybe in the bunker or something, but not that tough. And, 1's where you want to land, So basically what we'll do is we'll take that number, we'll add it, say if it's 6 on, if it's a 1, add the 1, and then you land at 7 over. So that way it's a way to keep you out of trouble. So if over here is a hazard, it'll land us on the fatter part of the green where it's safer. So if you miss on this side, it's a 1 you can chip up.
Yeah.
You see, easier than over here. It may be a downhill, so it would be a 3.
I don't think.
But is the 2 zone a better reward if you get it in the 2?
A two is
if you hit it
we think we can get up and down from there, no problem.
Okay.
And that's it's pretty much like that with if it's a 1 is like no problem at all. Like you can miss there, but and then the 3 is we just stay completely away from it.
Okay. So you don't look at it as, all right, we go to 1, you hit it, you do have a good shot, you're going to be 12 feet from the pin or something like that. But if you go 2, which has more risk, but if you nail it, you're 4 feet from the pin.
Yeah, but basically it's just the risk factor on where you want to land, and then you play those numbers. I mean, most guys aren't gonna. If you fire at the pin most of the times on those tour pins, you're gonna end up in a lot of trouble. And that what in DeChambeau does the decade too. Like, so it just helps you. Like, for instance, off the tee, we know the fattest part of the fairway where he should aim and all that, instead of just aiming, how we would go out and play and just hit it down there,
Do the numbers change based on the club you're using? So if the drive isn't as strong, but now you got to hit like a 5-iron as opposed to a 7.
I go up to the green and I'll walk around it. I'll look at it and I'll just put it there. And then me and him will say, I'll say, hey, did you have a 2 there, a 3? And at first it was like, it was tough because I wasn't getting the same. And now we may be apart a couple times at that. So
you ever see like kind of the before and after on like the PGA when a PGA gets a course ready, like they put in like a new sand trap or something like that. It's hilarious. So they literally they know exactly what the tour average is, and they put the sand traps, between 270 and 310. If they want to make it a little bit harder, they'll put sand traps on both sides.
It's kind of like that tree at Pebble on 18, right in the middle at 260 out there. It's like, all right, you can't cover that unless you're 290,
Yep.
Well, what do you like to see on TV? Like, obviously I'm an amateur and I like entertainment. I like seeing them struggle in the US Open to shoot even par, +1 or -1 versus somebody going 26 under over 4 days. I mean, obviously we know what the tour players' take is, but what's your take? And
I mean, I like the open style. I like where they, risk reward. If you go in if you get out of the fairway, you're in trouble. I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, when you're hitting out of the fairway and it's like a putting green, it's, you know, it's pretty, doesn't really help you can hit it wherever you want.
Yeah,
you
true.
know?
So when I look at the numbers, the average birdie, the leader of birdie to bogey ratio is kind of 4-1 on Corn Ferry Tour. It's 3-1 on the PGA Tour.
Right.
So do you look at that as like you go in, you look at the pin placements day before, and like, okay, we can take a little bit more risk on this to try to get a birdie, or like,
for sure.
Or these holes are like, listen, we're not even to go for it. I don't care if you think if it's a perfect day, wind out, like we're just. Is that,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And you know, like for a front pin placement on a par 5, we might be able to back it off the tee a little bit instead of hitting the driver. If there's water down and everything goes down to the left, for instance, on Lakewood National, there was a hole where if you 333 was the run out. So it would hit on the top here and just take off like that. And if the wind's behind you at all, we need to stay back there on a front, for instance, hit a 3-wood. And then, you know, with a front pin placement, you know, because you know, it's a 3-shot hole anyways into the wind. So, and Eric hits it extremely far. Let me say that again. So sometimes it may not be a 3-shot, but with a, you know, yeah, it all depends where the pins are. And a front pin, you know, it just all depends on the wind too. And if there's any undulation near that and what's near that side, like for instance, if it's right over a cover of a bunker or something like that, we'll have to land it behind it. Yep. You know what I mean? Did that answer your question?
It did. Yeah.
He's got a lot more for you, Lance. Get ready, buddy.
But you can't, do you ever switch? You can't switch the type ball during the round, right? Like you can't choose like one for more spin on this hole or something like that.
No.
Can you do that before the round, like between round
there's
1
a lady
and round 2?
that comes through. Her name's Miss Jenny. She's fantastic, and she comes through with a PGA book, and okay, what kind of shoes do you have on? What kind of gloves do you wear? What kind of clubs? Anything changed? She'll ask me any new shafts, blah blah blah, and she has it all written down. And once that happens, it's over.
Okay.
And you go to that tee box. We have all Titleist, and God forbid he hits one out of bounds, and then I'll hand him a different number. That's it.
Okay.
So did you know that if you start a hole with a ball, you have to finish it with the same ball? So meaning if he marks it and throws it to Lance to catch it, to wash it, and Lance fumbles it with his stone hands and it falls into the river or the lake, it's just I don't know what that, it's just a couple strokes penalty.
That would be a bad day. That would be a bad day.
But even if he puts it in his pocket and pulls a different one out and gives it back
yes,
to him.
I think that's a problem too. Yeah, it's got to be the same ball.
Unless you actually lost it for real.
What happens if you run out of balls?
I'm in bad shape.
So like how many balls does Eric have in his bag for a round?
9.
Okay.
So what's the most? Is that the most you can carry, or is
Well,
that
it's
just
just
the
the weight
eagle?
of
Is that the
it.
eagle thing?
You carry as many as you want.
That's the
right?
most I allow him to carry.
Yeah, I know. But
You go through
You
9
want this
balls.
back hurting over here?
Yeah,
Come on now.
Oh, 3 more balls put you over the top.
I'm telling you, Dally, they're not.
I never got it close. It's never gotten close with Eric, but with Licklider, we got down to 1 ball one time, and I was really nervous.
If you found one that was like a title, is that the rules of golf? You'd have to.
No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I'd be tempted.
Remember that story of Tiger Woods when his first round of Masters, and then the guy, he's like, "How many balls you got? I only got 3." He's like, "Well, this is Augusta." He's like, "Yeah, I used 1 for the front 9, 1 for the back 9. I got extra," and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
He only had 1 ball at one of the tournaments left, and he went for the shot, and he ended up.
That was because he had a bad, but that one was a different. I think Steve was like, I didn't tell him either or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like I always wondered if you
That's
run out of
right,
balls, like what happens? Like just.
Oh, you got a DQ?
Yeah, you're done.
You done?
Yeah.
But when you're talking about finding
That's
the
a
ball,
stupid rule of golf, but
And then you might as well just set the bag down.
But if you lost 9 balls in a round, you just like walk off the course.
Shouldn't be out there anyway.
one of my favorite golf scrambles, tournaments, charity things that we got in was each team had a golf ball, but it was it was like an 8 ball on it, right? So, and it was four people rotating shots, but someone had to use the 8 ball every single time, and it was the team that turned in the lowest score with the 8 ball, and if you found somebody else's 8 ball, you can pick it up and keep it and turn it in. So like someone, I launched my 8 ball in their fairway and like, oh, right, pick it up, and then like that other team can't win. Then you start trying to sneak around, trying to steal other people's 8 balls. It was a pretty good time.
I don't know. There's some just stupid rules of golf. Like it's got like once of this older generation is just over the play it where like if you hit a great drive 330 and it lands in a divot in the middle of the fairway, you should be able to move that thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just common. Like I don't get it. Like I don't know.
A bunch of divot balls last year.
Yeah, I mean, how frustrating. I mean, I move mine out every time. I don't care.
It's like getting
To no
kicked
fault
in
of
the
your own.
balls right when you walk up and see.
Like
it.
you should be rewarded if you hit a good shot, and you should have penalty if you hit a bad
No,
shot.
I totally agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's they're
It's
not
not your-
changing.
it's not your
That's got to
It's not your
change.
fault
There's
that
got to
the
be a lot of
ground- yeah, the
people
ground
that
is soft,
all the
yeah.
players got to be for that.
Oh,
And I know
yeah.
they try to move the tees so the landing zone is different so you're not kind of stuck. But 4 different tee boxes.
It takes long enough to play
Yeah.
a round of golf, let alone all those guys always picking up. Someone comes by, looks to make sure they drop in the right spot. Like, there's
I don't know.
there was
But you
well,
hit a
yeah,
good
the
shot.
PGA
I
Tour
mean,
a couple weeks ago, there were a few questions on where people dropped the ball and stuff like that if they should have.
Well, Patrick Reed.
stop
that,
it.
if you're
Yeah.
talking about
Lance, don't even
Yeah,
start.
I'm just saying, like,
He's a friend of the show.
That's why there's a
What
no.
friend?
That's
He's a
why there's a
friend.
zero
Patrick Reed
tolerance.
is?
No, he isn't.
Oh.
He's a friend of the show. Yes, he's slowly becoming a friend of the show.
But you have to have a zero
Marty,
tolerance.
Marty
policy
dreams of
for it.
Patrick coming
Yeah.
on the show.
Oh, when Patrick comes on the show, it's just me and him.
Yeah.
All you guys are
Oh,
out.
okay. Okay.
I love Patrick Reed.
What do you think about DeChambeau? You think he'll go for that number 6 at Bay Hill?
I saw that. Yeah, he didn't make it though, right? Wasn't he trying to?
He didn't. No, he tried it 3 times.
Wasn't he like
Didn't
a
make it.
pink shorts? and
Well,
a
that
pink
was the
hat?
one that Daly took an 18 on.
18. I was going to
Yeah.
say. Yeah. I was going to see if they knew that.
I mean, I was reading Golf Douchebag. They're like, what a.
Yeah,
I know.
They're like, what a. They call it GD. What a GD move talking
Yeah.
about trying to like
He
power
was
those.
2 under, right, or 2 off the leaders. Or
Yeah, I think
ended up 11 over.
Yeah, I think he had 4 birdies and 1 bogey at that point or something like that, and then there's a big old 18 right there on that.
Good for him.
Not even I have done that.
No, that was his
10 cup.
10 cup moment. Yeah.
Well, I mean, DeChambeau, like you kind of like how he's kind of pushing the boundaries of golf.
Well,
Yeah,
he's using
I-
that heavier driver. I don't know if he can get that swing speed, and the
Yeah.
wind's going to have to be right.
I don't know.
It'd help if he
changed.
won more to change the boundaries of golf.
He won a U.S. Open. That's all
Yeah.
you gotta say.
Yeah. I mean,
On a course that he probably shouldn't have played the way he did.
what's going on with Ricky? You been following him at all? What's
Yeah,
going on?
man,
What's
I-
going on? He's just in a funk or what?
You know,
changes?
Might not qualify for the Masters.
I heard an announcer say today that he wasn't ever a great player, and I was kind of shocked by that because I consider the players a major, and he won that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5th major.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean-
no, I mean that's a yeah. I
So
agree.
did he
Marriage,
win it? Did he win a major?
marriage got him.
He won
No.
the 5th major, is what
Yeah.
Americans
I
call it the
don't-
5th major.
I don't
Don't
understand
tell the
what that
Europeans
is.
that.
I've only
The
ever
TPC?
heard so many.
The
good things
TPC, it's
about
the
it.
Players
The
Championship
Players.
at Sawgrass.
Okay,
The one with the 17
The Island
Highland
Green.
hole.
I've
It's
seen
Highland
that,
Green.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, he won because there was a playoff and he nutted
went like 5
apart
birdies that
around
ended
17,
like
yeah,
around
like
there.
within like 4 feet.
But I would ditto the sentiment of him
Ditto.
never being a great golfer. Like, except he was above
He's an
average.
exceptional wedge player.
He
Great
was an
putter.
exceptional
He's just a
putter.
fan
great
favorite, and he's popular.
That's
and
what
I
I'm
think it's a
saying.
lot
He's
of
done a
Yeah.
lot for the
a
game.
lot of overlook for
Yeah.
being a player. But
Mhm.
I mean, you look at a Webb Simpson, he's probably got way better finishes than Ricky does.
I'm sure he
It's
does.
all said and done, but
Way.
doesn't
He's got
have the-
he's got a major.
Yeah.
But you know, Ricky came out and he's a marketing genius. I
You
mean,
saw what Faldo
but-
said, right? About well, if he doesn't get in the Masters, that'll give him some more time for his
I
commercials.
did see that 6 more
That's
commercials.
kind of a jab. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know why
Faldo
Faldo
jabs
would
everybody
do
there.
that,
Yeah.
but because Ricky's such a good guy,
He is a
He's
good guy.
for
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
And he's always been so good with the kids, and I remember my dad really.
Yeah, that was kind of unnecessary.
But
That was jealousy right
But Nick
there.
doesn't like a lot of American golfers.
I remember
right?
I asked him for an autograph when my dad was playing at Bay Hill, and
Well, he
he
hates
told me
Shamble.
he wouldn't give me one because I didn't say please. I was like 7.
Yeah.
Though Johnny Miller was the best. He hated
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
right,
European
yeah,
golfers.
yeah.
But Fowler does basically kind of follows our philosophy though. Play good, look great.
Yeah,
That's what
he
he
looks
does.
great. I mean,
sure
people
does.
people love
You know?
Ricky. He's like
Yeah.
you said, he's a very nice guy. He does a lot for
They say
charity.
he's the
Like, yeah.
nicest on tour.
I mean, he's sponsored by Puma, which hardly anyone is sponsored by, and he plays King Cobra drivers.
Well,
Iron-
DeChambeau does the
but-
same thing now because of Ricky.
Yeah.
But he arguably brought Puma back.
Of course
Yeah.
he did.
on,
Yes,
you
of
know.
course. Yeah.
Nice guys finish last.
That's right. But he got paid. And I
Yeah.
guarantee
He's
Oh, I'm
doing
sure-
he's doing okay.
I guarantee
Yeah.
he's top 5 in off
Yeah.
the court.
I guarantee he's not in his basement doing a
100%.
podcast right now.
And he got a hot wife
And
too.
his
So.
caddy even got in the mix. They put
Oh,
him in
really?
the Mercedes commercial.
Oh, they
this year.
did?
Yeah, his caddy was sitting in the passenger seat.
Oh, if you're
told him how to
if you're
drive.
sponsoring Mercedes, you got
Yeah, you made it.
Well,
over
he's
there.
such a good guy. I mean, that's a great
Yeah.
guy to have. Who cares? I mean, if he doesn't finish first every week,
Yeah.
but he hadn't had a top 10 and since 2020 or something, they were saying. And I'm like,
no, yeah, he's been.
Is
in
there a
the
window for? It seems like some of these guys, like Spieth, is there like a 7-year kind of like window where I feel like they really get after it, do great, and then
I think
kinda-
guys, a lot of, I think, it's so hard, but these kids coming up are just so good and the equipment is getting so good. And I really just think that the older guys just, especially if they don't hit it far, like the Corey Pavins back, like Corey Pavins survived today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No way. That's why Mike Weir and those guys just went off.
Yeah, but how is Morikawa winning?
He's
not a long hitter.
No, his irons are
okay. So then you don't necessarily have to be a long hitter per se.
Yeah, but him and Spieth are like the same kind of player. They don't hit it that long, but they're super accurate.
And he hits it where he wants.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Is everybody's bitching about, you got to be long to win. Well,
yeah, but it's not like they're crazy short. Like Morikawa hit at 330 on that par 5. He still hit some good ones.
But, so I looked it up years ago. There was a Wall Street Journal article about why tour players are better than regular players, and they said that, hey, what's your average drive? And like amateurs, I'll be like 275. This is bullshit.
Yeah,
it's not right.
No,
because you're not taking every drive. Like the TJ Tour average when I read this article was 290.
Yeah,
you know what it is today?
It's like 304.
No, it's like 292 or 293. It hasn't gone up that much. And I don't know if they take how the out of bounds works and how if you got to reach.
Got to be in the fairway.
Yeah, and on the first show, and
they usually do it on one.
But you look at that number, it hasn't increased that much over the last 10 years. So my point is, if Bryson, well, I guess DJ's tough because he hits the ball long and he wins a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on the fact that you have to be just a baller off the tee to be competitive in PGA.
But it's not only off the tee though. It's like, what are you hitting after that? Can you hit your?
Well, Bryson talking hits a 9 iron like 200
iron 185 like DJ, or do you have to hit like a hybrid to get up there?
Well,
right?
I don't think there's that drastic of a difference though from an 8 iron. What do you see? I mean, Corn Ferry, what's the biggest driver out there hitting consistently? I'm sure the average is about close to the PGA, but
30. I mean,
what's DJ hit it? Maybe like in a good, he'll hit a 330.
I watched him on the range at the Houston Open for 3 days in a row. We were right next to him.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he hits it. I mean, over 300 every time. I mean, that's a long way, carry.
But Barnes is hitting it over 300, right?
Oh, yeah. We hit it 363 at the Houston Open.
Yeah, that's
we had
what
the
I'm
longest
saying.
drive.
Yeah, but the difference between hitting like a 6 or a 5 iron into the green and hitting an 8 or a 9, it's a big difference.
Right.
And
it will catch up to those guys in, with the win. Like, for instance, last week with us, there was a lot of top players that didn't even make the cut because they just,
Yeah, I don't know.
So you got to be in terms of Spieth and like Morikawa, those guys are accurate with all their irons.
And they're just so good around the green. And he talked about the other day when he won, just how Azinger had helped him with his chipping on the green, for 15 minutes. And he goes, he doesn't do that, I don't win. It's just one little thing can click for these guys, and once they get on that train, it's on.
What I've learned through digging through the PGA site, through all the stats, there isn't one stat that correlates to winning in golf.
You got to be a good.
I thought it was like strokes gain putting was a big stat.
And I don't even know what strokes gained is the complete just bullshit.
I try to understand that stat. And I just
exactly
can't.
You have to do if you have to do this. What I'm getting at is there isn't one thing that that you can do. 2 things we have identified that you can do: green to regulation and crush the sneaky pars. That's a good
chance of winning.
That's a recipe for
winning. We're going to win. It's going to happen this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if we won twice.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. So
confidence over here. That's good.
Here's the thing. He, as bad as we played, and him and I looking at it, we didn't do what we wanted to do there, which was win. But even doing that, we still top 25.
And you shot? Would you shot even on the 3rd round? Or I thought one round was even. I was looking at it.
I couldn't even tell you what we shoot.
What? I don't think. Did you have any sand saves? Was he in the sand around the greens ever? I don't think the stats showed any sand saves.
No, but I did tell him on one of the par 4s. It was a reachable par 4, and it was the last day. And you really wanted to take the ball to the right because everything funneled back down. And he said, "What do you think here?" And I said, "Dude, you're going to take a 3-wood and you're going to aim it right at that bunker on the left side." And I mean, we were from here to there from out of bounds if he misses it left. But it was the only shot, and he did hit it in the bunker, and it came out there and was pin high.
Okay. Yeah.
So but no.
But around the greens, I don't think he was in the bunker ever, or bunkers ever on the green. I mean, I could have read the stat wrong.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, actually. I was just trying to look at sand saves, and I didn't see him on there because that would be a sneaky part.
I didn't have to rake any traps. That's right.
Look at you.
That's a plus.
That's a huge plus. So even on tour, you don't like raking traps.
No, we did. It wasn't greenside on a par number 9. We hit it off the drive into the bunker, and I had to rake it. It's the biggest one out there.
So you don't rake it like you do at a Muni course.
Well, then I got to hurt. No, Lord, no, because you can get in trouble. A stroke. If like another player hits in it and they call an official and you
raked it like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But in a Muni course, aren't the rules you don't have to rake? Isn't it?
I mean,
a
no,
new rule or
you're
something
always
like that?
supposed to.
If you
rake.
don't want to have players come back, maybe.
I don't know. I thought
COVID, you didn't have to
COVID
rake. You
rules.
didn't have to
Oh,
rake
COVID
because there's no
rules it
rakes.
was.
But
Okay.
And in practice
Gotcha.
rounds, we don't use them either.
you don't rake either. No.
Not
Oh,
for
don't know.
COVID.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, hey, lots of shit going on, which is awesome.
man.
You had a few weeks off. You're going to be kicking up in high gear here every
I'm leaving
weekend.
Sunday. I can't wait.
So we're hopefully going to get Lance on the road a couple times. We don't want to be too much of annoyances,
Oh, no.
but
Happy to come.
we
in.
love a couple 10, 15-minute check-in just
Sure.
every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just to kind of see how you're doing, how the
Anytime,
mentality.
every
We
week.
love it.
I think we should also road trip to Panther Creek in Springfield.
I'll go
for
anywhere.
one of theirs.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, that's a good
I-
little
yeah.
track. That's an easy track to walk too.
Is it by Springfield, Illinois?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why not?
So we got some connections there. I think it'll
We
be a
do.
little trip.
I hope you have connections. I don't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's only 3 hours.
Oh wait, isn't Broughton down there?
Yeah, I-
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll have Reimer come down. We'll have the whole team.
Yeah, I think it'd be a blast. So we appreciate you coming down, bud. We
Thanks for
appreciate the
having me.
insight. This was a very knowledgeable. I learned a lot. The decade system, is that called?
Yeah.
The,
Check it out, Scott Fawcett.
yeah.
It's,
I have a public service announcement
Okay, go ahead.
before we go. So I want to give a shout out to a longtime listener, great friend of the podcast,
Uh-huh.
right? The pioneer of the guys trip hot tub photo.
Oh, D-Bone.
Huge U of I fan. And I would say congratulations for rolling over the Wolverines.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
very,
he's-
very special day for me. I had a skit. I had a whole Michigan outfit. I was going to come on here and talk a lot of
You
trash.
now you're in your South Side
And I'm like,
tracksuit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You know what? He
Typical-
deserves,
typical
he deserves
Michigan
a little
fan.
shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? It's good that there's a buzz going on in Chicago, and Illini fans are happy because they're doing well. So that March Madness coming up, we're
Oh,
excited.
it hasn't happened since D Brown and Darren Williams were doing their thing.
Listen, I'm not a Cubs fan. I'm not an Illinois fan, but you know what? If it gives buzz for the city and people are happy out having a good time, I'll join them.
It's going to
Yeah.
be tough for U of I to recruit in Chicago when a
Why? Because
Wolverines-
DePaul gets all
no,
the guys.
No, because
Yeah.
What are you
Because-
talking
Yeah,
about?
No,
you're
because-
behind the blue dome over
UIC.
there. Yeah.
because the Wolverines coach is from Chicago Vocational.
No, sure.
Like, I'm
Absolutely.
saying, like he's going to get all the Chicago guys.
Yeah, or they're just gonna now they're just gonna go to the G League. The number one guy when they were supposed to go to Michigan State, Imoni Bates.
Yeah.
He's not gonna play for
Go
Michigan
G League?
State. He's going G League.
Well, who was that? Brandon Jennings went over to Europe and played.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the G League is now a legit option because they pay a lot more than
Oh,
they
they do?
used to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
and
I'm
they're
getting. Like,
affiliated with the
I
NBA.
mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why not take a signing
Yeah.
bonus? Minor leagues go like,
Exactly.
what's the point of
No, yeah,
going
you
1 year
you
in
get
college?
you get your endorsements immediately. Boom.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, that is. I don't know why somebody didn't think of that sooner. When
Get the
everybody's
money.
complaining about, oh, you
But
have
Michigan,
to
that
go.
was Michigan State's highest rated recruit ever, number one overall
And he
prospect.
said,
And he
"Beat
said,
it."
he said, I'm
No,
probably going to
dude,
play G League
crazy.
now. Because he saw what the other guys did in G League this year.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, man, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Nice.
Yep.
Lance, any parting thoughts for the fans?
No, I just keep following us.
Yeah.
Big things coming.
Yeah,
No
I do
question.
get a lot of questions like, "Hey, who's this?" Like they saw the shirts that you laid your. Well, I think your
yeah,
wife- They're like, "Hey, I want that one. Where can I get that one?" I'm like, "Those are exclusive, guys. Give it time."
Yeah.
we had a year only for Lance.
Yeah.
and then
that's
we
a
can
Stitch
release it.
sponsorship and
So I didn't see the stitch on the side, so I'm looking at the S there, and I'm like,
yeah.
did Marty?
Change
That's-
logo.
No, like the S. Yeah, I thought
Oh.
you changed the logo.
No,
I,
it's up
I
there
thought
on
I
his,
thought it was a
account.
sneaky par S. I'm like, that's not right. And then, oh, that's a stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stitch
Yeah.
golf, sneaky park golf.
Yep.
What else you got? Yeah,
Paragon,
Paragon
Jeff
Micro.
Reimer, and we want to thank him so much for everything he
Yeah,
does.
it's
And
tough.
Leslie Murphy's joined the team. She's helping us out, just
Ooh,
keeping
we
our
got a
mind
PR
right.
girl?
Well, she's
Nice.
just keeping Eric's and mine, our mind right while we're on the road. It
Yeah,
gets a little tough, but she's joined the team, and
Hmm.
there's just big things this year. So
the team's
be ready.
growing,
That's
and
right.
I love it. So
That's right.
thank you, sir. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
It's been a blast so far, and
Thank you.
can't wait to follow the rest of the season. We'll see you at the Glen Club, but we'll probably hopefully get you on before the Glen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
talk
and next
about
time
that
we
and-
get on there, we'll talk about best buddies that we're going to do.
Oh yeah, so the best buddies, the golf thing. So yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that next time. That's
Yep.
gonna be an awesome thing for
Sure is.
charity and helping out people that are probably way cooler and actually way better
Way
than we are.
cooler, way cool.
So
Are you
that-
guys letting me golf in your foursome, or do you already have like 4?
No, we're gonna talk about it. It's
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
yeah.
That's
we
what
we're doing a lot of things, Bri.
Yeah,
We'll keep you in the loop.
Big things coming.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little crowded out there.
We might have a spot. for you.
Yeah, we'll check with
We'll get
Lance's
back,
team
we'll
if
get
you're
back to
allowed.
you. Yeah.
So all right, well, we'll come back next week. We actually have Kevin Roy
Oh,
coming on the
nice.
show. Lance hooked us up with another
Yeah.
Corn Ferry guy. He's
awesome.
I was texting him. He seemed great, excited
He's
to come on the
so
show.
great.
So thank you
He's
for.
so
And he
great.
finished what, top 10?
Yeah,
this
he
week,
was
last
like
week?
he was in like 5th for a while, and then he just, you know, like I said, the conditions were tough. He just didn't finish it down the stretch, but he's another one that, you know, is going to.
So he'll be on next week. We got to do some background. I was reading up on him a little bit. We'll get some stuff from you. And then I think Eric might come on next week too, or the week after. So we definitely want to.
He's looking forward to that.
Get him on as well. So good stuff coming. Brian, anything to part with, bud?
Might be time to move the, you know, get the show back on the road to Studio A if we're going to have like legitimate.
Well, he's, I mean, he's going to be Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not, he doesn't live in Chicago.
Eric?
Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's in Florida. So yeah.
What would he be doing here?
You know who
why?
You know who he's marrying? Chris Sabo's daughter. Remember the
the red
goggles?
Yeah.
I had his baseball card as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Sabo has a daughter. That's how old we are.
Yeah.
Where do you play?
You play for the
college
Reds?
baseball?
Michigan.
Michigan.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I
Chris
guess he's a
Sabo,
great golfer.
Hal Morris, Barry Larkin.
That's right.
That was a great little team.
Abbott.
Yeah.
Yep.
One-arm Abbott.
All right, well, maybe we'll get her on there. Maybe she'll be in the
Barry
background.
Larkin's
Yeah.
broadcaster, so you
Pardon?
should.
Barry Larkin played for Michigan?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought he was,
Yeah.
did.
All those guys were kind of at the same time. Like that was,
Mhm.
that was a solid little team.
That's
Nice.
right.
So, all right, well, we'll cut it there. We'll see you next week for episode 12 of season 2. But we're actually, I think next week, we're just going to call it episode 25.
Yeah.
We're not going to go seasons anymore. We're
Yeah.
just going to count the number
It's
up.
only been 6 months. I don't know how we have 3 seasons in 6 months.
Well, they're going to cancel us anytime. So we got to pump out as much as we can before we get
All about
canceled.
content.
Yeah. Content. We have a whole archive of stuff that has not been released yet. But good stuff. So we'll check you guys all next week. See you later.
Thanks,